Hey, what's up, my friend? It's Chris Harold, the Kingdom Marketing Superman. And in this video here, I want to talk about how to land high-ticket clients without sales calls. What's up, my friend? It's Chris. And hey, I hate I had to interrupt your video, but I have a really big announcement. I put together a brand new and live training. I'm going to go live with you all on Zoom. I'm going to peel the curtains back on my business. I'm going to show you my six-figure plus formula. I'm going to show you exactly what I've done over the last couple of years to generate over $500,000, my friend. And I can tell you, if you're a coach, a consultant, an expert, or a course creator, you have not seen a training like this before. Listen, this method literally changed my life a couple of years ago when I was at zero. I hit a wall in my business and I had to find a new way to grow my business online. And I discovered this one new way, my friend, and I'm going to reverse engineer. I'm going to show you everything from how I did it, from backwards all the way to front. So this is a brand new training I've never done before. So if you're a coach, a consultant, an expert, I'm going to be live on Zoom. So we're going to dive into it right on Zoom. There should be a link around this video. If you don't see a link, simply go to kingdommarketingsecrets.com. If you go to kingdommarketingsecrets.com, it's going to take you right to my Zoom. Register. It's free, my friend, no charge. So come and join me. You're going to love it. It's going to be powerful. And I'm telling you that this can help you accelerate your business faster than anything else today, my friend. I've tried it at all. I'm telling you, this one, I don't want to let the cat out the bag, but this one sales process will change your business quickly. So click the link, go to kingdommarketingsecrets.com, register. We're going to be live on Zoom, my friend. And I'm going to peel the curtains back and show you exactly how to do this right now in your coaching, consulting, or expert business. So I can't wait to see you. And now back to the video. God bless. Now, many moons ago, many years ago, right, there was the saying in the world of marketing, right? And this was the norm, right? And you were told that if you want to sell anything over $2,000, that you had to do a sales call. I mean, this was the standard, right? You know, I don't know who sets these standards, right? But somebody set a standard and said, nope, if you want to sell anything over $2,000, guess what? You need to get on the phone with someone, or you need to hop on Zoom with someone, but you got to get on the sales call. You got to go through a script. You got to go through this whole little process because the amount is just too high. People are just not going to buy, online. They're just not going to buy any other way than pick up the phone or hopping on and doing a video conference, right? Now, that might have been true many years ago. But here's the deal, my friend. Just like everything else that happens over time, especially online, which everything changes just like that, that is not true, right? That is not true. And I'm going to share with you how you can do that, right? How you can get high-ticket clients today without a sales call. In fact, I closed a $24,000 coaching package with a client without a sales call. And that client has invested more since. But the initial package was $24,000, and I did not do a sales call. So that myth, that thing that used to be true, is not true. Now, I can remember when I was, a few years back when I was learning conversion strategies, right? And I'll never forget, because in fact, I did a webinar, right? It might be out there somewhere online. I don't know what year I did it, but it's a few years. If I say, I'll be dating myself when it comes to this online marketing business I've been in, right? But I remember I did a webinar, and I think it was called the Top 7 Sales Conversion Strategies, right? And I remember teaching this, what I had learned from my mentors at the time. And what they did, they had dollar amounts, right? And certain conversion strategies that you were supposed to do to close them. In fact, I wrote some down. I was told that if you sold anything online that was like $1 to $499, all you need to do is create a VSL. A VSL stands for Video Sales Ladder. So, you created this short video, 10, 20-minute video, and you sold, your product, your widget, whatever it is you were selling, right? So anything that was $499 and below, all you need to do is create a video sales letter, send people to that page to make sales, right? And that was a conversion strategy. Then I was told anything from $500 to $1,999, You need to sell on a webinar, right? And so you was told to create this webinar, right? And then you pitch. Then, you pitch your offer that's $500 to $1,999, right? And nowadays, webinars are not doing the things they even used to do, but this is what you were told. So if you sold something at that price point, you was told to do a webinar, anything from $500 to $1,999 to sell it, right? And so I did those things, right? And then you were told that if you want to sell anything over $2,000, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a live, it could be a mastermind. It could be a coaching program, a consulting service, or some professional services, right? It didn't matter what it was. If you was told that if you wanted to sell anything online, right? Online, anything that is $2,000 or more, that you had to get on a sales call with someone. You need to talk to someone physically, or hop on a video conference, right? And kind of go through these little, these typical sales scripts, that you have, and you had to do it because people are not going to give you $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 without talking to you. They're just not going to do that. You got to get on a call and you got to go through this script with them. That's what you were told to do. So guess what? I did those things too. But a couple years ago, something happened. And the game began to change. So just like things are always evolving online, you got to evolve with the times. And there are people today who are still living by those standards that I don't know who created. Maybe the godfather of online commerce, right? But I don't know who created it. But there's still people today who live by that, and they still won't do anything else besides that. Well, a couple years ago, when my business was hitting stagnant because the webinars were no longer converting, the VA sales were no longer converting, and the phone calls with people, sales calls were no longer converting. And I had to look into my mirror and say, okay, I need to change what I'm doing. And a couple years ago, I was introduced to a sales process that I call Kingdom Virtual Events. I named it that. Nobody else named it that. Because when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness. Number one, this is a kingdom strategy. It's a biblical strategy. So it lines up with God. It's ethical. And it allows people to get a taste and see of what you do, right? You get your potential clients results in advance, right? You create mini transformation for them. It positions you as an authority. It gives you instant credibility, right? It allows you to stand out from the crowd. It does all these things, and it creates an environment where people feel like buying. And I was like, okay. So when I began implementing this sales process, right? First, I was kind of nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I think I tried to sell like a $500 or $1,000 offer at this time, and people bought it. So the next time I did it, I said, let me try $1,500 next time. And people bought it. Then I did it again the following month, and I raised the price to $2,000. And people bought it. I was like, okay. I just broke a standard here. I just went against tradition, right? I just destroyed the myth that the godfather of marketing told you that if you sell anything at $2,000 or more, you got to get on a phone call. I said, so let me try this one more time. So literally each month I kept increasing increments by $500 when I implemented this sales process. And the next month I did $2,500 and people bought. And then I did $3,000 and people bought. I was like, okay. I did not have to get on the phone with these folks. I did not have to go through a script. No, I did not have to have a bunch of calls booked with a bunch of tire kickers who don't have the money to invest, right? To tell you, oh, that sounds great. Or I just want to see how much it is, what you're offering, and I'll be ready in 6 months when you know that's not going to happen, right? I didn't have to go through none of that stuff where I'm sitting there at the gym, literally working out at the gym, and see I got a sales call or a strategy session, discovery call, whatever you want to call it, at 1 o'clock, and I'm rushing my workout, to get home. Then when I get home, to hop on Zoom, the person doesn't show up, right? Can you relate, right? And so I didn't have to do any of that. So I said, you know what? I've been selling this for $3,000 consistent. I said, let me try to double the amount. And I said, let me try 6,000. And 6,000 sold. with this same sales process. And it got to the point eventually where literally I did $10,000 that sold, and the most I've ever sold at one time from one person, not at one time, most I've ever sold from one person was a $24,000 coaching package. And the most I ever done at one time with this process is $70,000. I said, cool, this is something. I did not have to do a sales call. I did not have to, worry about tire kickers. I did not have to, go to a whole talking to somebody for an hour and they can't buy, or they wasting your time, just trying to get free information or whatever. I didn't have to do none of that. And what did I use? Kingdom Virtual Events, which is, in my humble opinion, the best sales process and method today to get clients consistently for coaches, consultants, and experts, hands down. Hands down. It's done more for me than any other method today combined. In the last 3 years, I've done more than I did in the last 15 plus years online by this one sales process, my friend. And I mean, it's just something. And I enjoy it. See, when you do sales calls, 80% of the people who book calls with you are tire kickers. Right? But half of them won't show up. The ones who do show up don't have the money to buy. Never intended on buying. Right? And what they do is they rely on the application. Because people say, well, you need to vet your people better. You need to get an application. Okay. People can lie on applications. They would say, yes, I have $5 million in the bank. Yes, I'm ready to buy and join today, and get on the call and say, you know what? I don't have the money. And you like, hold up, I've been talking to you for an hour, right? You said you're ready to do this? That's what happens. 80% of the calls that are booked through sales calls are with tire kickers. And then the other folks may say, well, why don't you just hire a sales team? That way you don't got to do it. Good luck with that, because the last thing that any entrepreneur should ever outsource or your sales. Because no one would ever know your business like you know your business. No one will ever be as passionate about your business as you are. So that's the last thing that you outsource. That's the last thing that you delegate, right? And then when you do that, the sales ratio is going to go down even lower. So if you're only closing 10%, 20%, 30%, right, 40% at tops, you hire a sales team, it's going to drop down to 10%. Why? Because they got to learn your process, and they're not you. They don't know the ins and outs of it. So you're going to have a lot of not no sales as well. So it's just a crazy process, dealing with so many tire kickers. Also, it gets redundant going through the sales script. You do 50, 100 calls, right? It comes to the point where it's monotonous and redundant, and that same passion and energy that you had at first, because you're so excited. You say, oh, I'm about to be rich. I'm about to do all these sales calls. I'm getting all these booked appointments, right? You get happy. You don't get all these booked appointments, and hopefully you went and paid somebody. All these people online want to charge you $15,000, to fill your calendar, and 80% of it's with tire kickers, right? But you get so happy. Oh, I got a call on Monday. I got 4 calls on Monday, 4 calls on Tuesday, 4 calls on Wednesday. You got all these calls booked. Right? And you're a slave to your business because you can't go anywhere. You got all these calls booked, right? And 80% on with tire kickers and no shows, right? And once you start doing it, going through the script, it becomes monotonous. It becomes redundant. And that passion and energy that you had at first begins to wane. And the other person on the other side of it will sense that. Like, this person's really not as excited about this call. They don't seem to be, because why? The script becomes monotonous because you went through it so many times, it becomes redundant. And that energy is no longer there, right? And you don't want to come off that way to someone because of the results you've been getting from that. And again, they're just not necessary, my friend. You can close $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 plus and more without a sales call. I've done it, right? And the best method, my friend, is with virtual events. I say Kingdom Virtual Events, but Kingdom Virtual Events are the best method, the best sales process for coaches, consultants, course creators and experts to use today to get clients consistently, to scale your sales, and to create massive impact for your audience. There's no other method today that can give you all those things at once. And here's the deal. You got to understand the mindset of when you're doing your business, right? When you're doing your business, your goal is to take a cold stranger. When I say cold, there are three temperatures of traffic: hot, warm, and cold. A cold stranger, a complete stranger who doesn't know you. Your goal is to take them from a complete stranger to a hot buyer, right? And you need a process that will allow people to buy quickly from you, right? And that's why I love when I teach people my Kingdom Virtual Event model, because it increases the know, like, and trust factor unlike anything else. And people do business with those who they know, like, and trust. So you want a model, you want a sales process that would take a complete stranger to a buyer. And in virtual events, it can happen in a matter of hours with a 1-day virtual event, or a 3-day, 5-day, 7-day, however we want to do it. I've had people, when I've done 5-day virtual events and 7-day virtual events, told me on day 2, Chris, I want to work with you. What is the investment amount? Because of the way it's structured, because the way it's set up, it would take a complete stranger and they find you, and all of a sudden they see you as the expert, you as the authority, and they say, this person can help me solve my problem. All of a sudden they want to buy with you, and they go through the whole process, each day a virtual event, and each day they get hotter, and hotter. And literally, a week ago, they didn't know you from Adam or Eve, that you even existed on this planet. Now they'd be willing to give you $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, or even $24,000 like it happened to me. True story. There's no other method that can do that as fast and as consistent and as predictable as Kingdom Virtual Events can do for you, my friend. So that's how you get high ticket sales, my friend. Consistently, fast, predictably, because you got to have a business that can do that. Plus something you can scale. If you're doing sales calls, there are only so many sales calls that you physically can do. What I love about virtual events is it is a one-to-many model, right? One-on-one sales calls are not. It consumes the most precious asset that God is giving you, which is your time. It's built off an employee, 9 to 5 type of model, right? And so you want something that's one-to-many. You can show it once, share it to many, give your offer for people to enroll in your program, and a percentage of people will. Right? And you didn't waste your time with tire kickers. You didn't waste your time getting, having people book calls who didn't show up. You didn't waste your time going through a whole process. You didn't do any of that. You showed up, you gave your best, right? You gave people a mini transformation. You gave them wins. And the ones who are ready, which will be a nice percentage of people, those are the ones that you put in your program. And the ones who, whatever reason, weren't ready, become your number one fan. Because you're giving them wins that you will not get from anything else out there. So, my friend, if you want to learn how to do this model, I'm putting together a live training. You need to click the link, register, and enroll. All the details will be at the site. But I'm putting together a live boot camp, a live virtual event. I'm going to show you step by step how to create a virtual event, how to design it the right way, how to get the right people to it, how to monetize it, and how to launch it, my friend. I'm going to show you step by step how to do this the right way so you can create the results that I'm getting, that I have my current clients and students are getting, and that you deserve to be getting right now. Because you know what? There are people right now who are looking for you, but they can't find you. And a lot has to do with your sales process. So I'm gonna help you get the right sales process and help you, make sure that you have a great offer at the same time. All right, my friends. So click the link, register. This training will be business and life transforming for you, my friend. So click the link, register, get your spot, and I can't wait to see you in. God bless.